Classwork 6-5, number 17, says the following polynomial has a 0 at -2 plus the square root of 5. Factor the polynomial into linear and quadratic factors with integer coefficients. The first step, we're going to identify the other irrational 0. So, since we have -2 plus the square root of 5, our other irrational 0 would have to be -2 minus the square root of 5. Our next step says to get the quadratic factor by converting the two irrational zeros to factors and multiplying them together. Like with many things, there's more than one way to get this right answer. So let's explore a few different possibilities. So our other irrational 0 was -2 minus the square root of 5. Okay, let's first do the suggestion. So we're going to convert the two irrational zeros to factors and multiply them together. Okay, so let's do this as our first method. Okay, so if we have x equals -2 minus the square root of 5, and we have x equals -2 plus the square root of 5, okay, that means that our factors would be x plus 2 plus the square root of 5 as one factor, and x plus 2 minus the square root of 5 for our other factor. Okay, let's use distribution to solve this. Okay, so we're going to do x plus 2 plus the square root of 5 times x plus 2 minus the square root of 5. Okay, so I'm going to distribute each item to the one in the other parentheses. So x to x would be x squared, x to 2 would be 2x, x to negative square root of 5 would be x times negative square root of 5. Okay, following this pattern, I have plus 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times negative square root of 5 is -2 square roots of 5. And then doing this one to each term, we've got plus x times the square root of 5 plus 2 times the square root of 5 minus 5. Square root of 5 times square root of 5. Square root of 5 times the square root of 5 gave us 5. Okay, combining like terms, let's first see if we can cancel anything out. Okay, this one and this one gets canceled out because those are going to subtract from each other. This one and this one gets canceled out. Okay, so we have x squared plus 4x, because 2x, and 2x. Okay, and then we have 4 and -5 gives us -1. Okay, so that equals 0. Okay, so that would be our quadratic factor. So x squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay, let's explore another option. Okay, so if we have our other 0 was -2 minus the square root of 5, we also had established that x equals -2 minus the square root of 5, and x equals -2 plus the square root of 5. Okay, we turned it into factors, x plus 2 plus the square root of 5, and this one became our factor x plus 2 minus the square root of 5. Okay, we could also multiply these. Instead of using distribution, we could use the box method. So we've got x plus 2 plus square root of 5. Okay, down the side we have x, we have a positive 2, and we have a negative square root of 5. Okay, using the box method, okay, my beautiful box. So x times x would be x squared. 2 times x would be 2x. And this would be x times the square root of 5. Okay. Next one we have 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 2 times the square root of 5. Then we have negative square root of 5. And then we have negative 2 times the square root of 5. And we have negative 5. Okay, when we combine like terms, okay, this one's going to cancel out with this one. This one's going to cancel out with this one. Okay, so we're left with x squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay, this is the second way to do it. And still yet, there is one more way that we could solve this. Okay, so we're not going to convert the factors to two irrational zeros. Okay, we know that the other rational zero is negative 2 minus the square root of 5. Okay, so negative 2 minus the square root of 5. We also know that x equals negative 2 minus the square root of 5, and x equals negative 2 plus the square root of 5. That being said, we could accurately state that x equals negative 2 plus or minus, because we have plus here and minus over here, the square root of 5. Okay, this answer looks awfully familiar from what we used to get when we did completing the square. So we could take the steps that we used to complete the square and work them backwards. Okay, so if we have x minus equaling negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 5, working backwards, we're going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, so that gives us x plus 2 equaling plus or minus the square root of 5. Okay, so I added 2 to both sides. Okay, then I'm going to square both sides. Okay, so this becomes x plus 2 squared, and this squared, okay, will give us 5. So let's go ahead and work this out. X plus 2 squared is x squared plus 4x plus 4, and that equals 5. Okay? Then I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Okay, so minus 5, minus 5. Okay, so I get x squared plus 4x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, and you'll notice I got the same answer, x squared plus 4x minus 1. So this is option number 3. Okay, again, all three methods got me the same exact answer. Okay, now the next step on number 17, so I had x squared plus 4x minus 1 was my quadratic factor. In order to get the linear factor, I'm going to use long division, and I'm going to divide into my original equation. My original equation was 4x cubed plus 23x squared plus 24x minus 7. Okay, so I'm going to divide this into my original polynomial. So x squared into 4x cubed is 4x. Notice I'm lining up the x with the x. So 4x times x squared is 4x cubed. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. And 4x times negative 1 is negative 4x. Now I'm going to subtract all of these terms from the ones above them. So 4 minus 4 is 0. 23 minus 16 is 7. And 24 minus the negative 4 is like saying plus, gives me 28x. Now I'm going to carry down my negative 7 and repeat the process. X squared into 7x squared is 7. 7 times x squared is 7x squared. 7 times 4x is 28x. And 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. When I subtract all of these, 7 minus 7 is 0. 28 minus 28 is 0. And 7 minus the negative 7, which is like saying plus, is also 0. Okay, so my linear factor is 4x plus 7. Okay. For the final answer, I'm going to put all of that together. So my linear one was 4x plus 7. My quadratic was x squared plus 4x minus 1. My other irrational 0 was my negative 2 minus the square root of 5. Okay, and the complete factor result is 4x plus 7 times x squared plus 4x minus 1.